This video is going to be about reading and writing a bit to an S7 1500. I did a previous video where I showed how to set up a Visual Studio project and how to read and write a bit with a program in an S7 300. But I said at the very end of it that I was going to show exactly how to do updates to a program inside the 1500 with regard to reading, writing bits as well, and then also demo TIA. We'll do that now. Okay, so this is the TIA project that I'm going to use, and the Semantic Manager. The Semantic Manager project that I did previously and the Visual Studio project, hopefully you'll have that still open, or if you don't, go to the video. There'll be a link below where I set up this project just called Demo 1. It was just where I had a button for writing and then a button just for reading and then a label showing the status of a bit. Okay, so the main thing to highlight, just to refresh anyone who's looked at the previous video and they haven't seen it in a little while, or someone coming in new, I just basically went off. I downloaded the app S7 library, then I just had a click event for a button where I do a connection, and then I pass on this variable. In this case here, you can see it's db1 dbx 0.1, but this could be any kind of a bit, and then I do a disconnect, and then there was this write bit function which I explain in the other video also, and then basically there was just another button where I go off and I read a bit, and then I put it into this label here, just kind of to repeat it. So the code all stays the same except for some differences, right? So basically the S7 1500, that has a different IP address, and then also then the previous like the rack is 0, and then there's the position of the CPU. It was 2, but now it's actually 1 because of the 1500. So if I just very quickly, if I just open up my camera, I can just give you a look here very quickly. So you'll see that basically there's the 1500 here on the desk, and this is the one that I'm using. So you might be able to see a few I/O trigger on and off as well, just in a moment. Okay, so the TIA project, right? It very much needs two things to be put in place, right, in order to work with the app S7 library. So if you go to the properties of the CPU, and if you go down to the protection and security, you'll see that you have this concept here of something called put and get communication. So put and get is something that was very, very commonly used. There'd be put and get blocks essentially to send Ethernet packets from, say, the S7 400 and the 300. Let's just after losing connection there. Sorry, it'll come back in just a moment. So that's very, very that's very important, and I'll just push this back here as well. Sorry, that you have this box ticked. Okay, so if you don't have that ticked, then you're going to have to, basically just make sure that's sorted. And then on the data block side, then itself as well, there we go. It's this optimized block access. Make sure that this is not ticked as well. That's another thing that's just important, so that the data block, when you go into it, it will show these addresses up. Okay, so you have like the 00, the 01, etc. Just so it's very, very obvious. Especially because most people who've moved from the 300 onto the 1500, they like seeing the addresses look and appear exactly the same as they were before. Okay, so in a demo project that I have here, I just have this function that has just these two different dB bits just turning on and off two outputs. And what I'll do now is I'm just going to run the program that I had put together previously. As I said again, just change the IP address and just change the slot. That's all you need to change, nothing more than that. Then obviously the DB read as well. I think we were reading and working it with DB2 last time, so we're only working with DB1 this time here. Okay, so I'll just do a start on that. And I'll just minimize this here. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click this guy, and we'll see that db1.dbx 0.1 went to true. Okay, and we'll just click that and it just says true. And if we look back at our Visual Studio Code here, we'll just see that I was looking at 0.1. Okay, and then of course then I'm in this respect here, I'm looking at db1, and then I'm looking at the first bit. Essentially it's this guy here. Okay, so it's the first bit again. Yeah, that's the way to just to think of it. So I'm looking at the first bit in db1 in my read. Okay, so if I want then, say for example, if I want to go to 0, 0, just to show you that things are working fine. So if I want to go to 0, 0, all I need to do there is just change that address there. And I'll just move it out of the way, and I'll just bring the form back in. We just click. There we go, it goes back on. And if I just want to do a manual edit just to show it's no problem in terms of being robust, etc., just go back to it again, no problem. So that's essentially it. And then just in terms of the read again, just to show that, we'll go modify to 0. We have a small little application again. It'll say false, then just go again, and then true. Okay, so the main thing that I want you to take away here is that the library works just the same with the S7 1500 with programs that are done in TIA. Just to show you the screen as well, you'll see that basically these I/O here are after going on and off as well. So just to be comprehensive about it. So I think that the next step now, the next video that I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on different data types, how to read them in and out, and then the further videos then they will be they'll be about kind of collecting large amounts of information all in one go, and then I'll probably focus on a bit of SQL as well, like say the likes of an Oracle database, MySQL, SQL Server, SQLite, that kind of thing, where we can actually kind of get into the concept of storing data as well, and possibly pushing into maybe expanding upon a HMI. So if you've developed this project, what I would say to you is keep this project here, this demo 1 application, because all of the videos will build upon themselves from the very beginning to the very end. Okay, thank you.